Here you go, dearie. All right. What are we doing for you today?
Same as always, same haircut I've had my whole life, and the same one you cut every single time.
Oh, okay.
Or something like that.
You've never had a different haircut, even when you were a kid?
Oh, I've had 2 haircuts.
Okay. What was
Once
the
was
other one?
when I was a kid.
Did you have a Dorothy Hamill? Dorothy Hamill flip? Hold on, I can let the dog in. Did you touch your hair?
No.
All right, head down. We have to start with the back. Frugal home haircut.
Wait, can you do the front again?
What do you mean do the front again?
Comb it back or something. Yeah. Like Tom Jones.
Like that vampire guy we saw at the street fair?
Yeah. Warren Zevon.
Hot vampire dad. Warren Zevon wore his hair like this?
No, but Werewolves of London did.
That's not a vampire. This is, I think, one of the easiest ways to save money. Cutting women's hair is much more difficult and the stakes are much higher. But men's hair, just short all over. Easy, easy, easy. And
Yep.
if you screw up, who cares? Because it's some guy's hair. No, head down. All right, Frugal Daddy, why don't you tell us what you did for a living before you became the king of dumpster diving? People ask every now and then.
They do?
Yeah, like, do these two have real jobs, or is this what they do? They say with disdain.
Can you imagine if that was my job
My whole life?
my whole life?
Like Sanford and Son.
You know,
You were a junk man.
we used to watch that, and people used to comment.
That you were like him?
Yeah, I don't know if that's...
Really? When you were a kid?
I didn't make a mess, but I seemed to collect things.
I was always very uncomfortable with how messy and hoarderish his living room looked.
Oh, our house never looked like that. Our yard never looked like that. There was something in common. Maybe it was my voice. I don't know.
Well, our yard looks like that now, and that's
I know.
you. That's all you. So somebody saw it in you.
Yeah, it's weird because I've never had a yard like that until now.
Until the last 10 years. All right, what's the first job you ever had, and how old were you? Let's get to know Frugal Daddy.
My first job, I guess, would be, I was 16, and I worked on a cow farm. And we would spend the whole day, well, the whole morning, we would spend getting the cows cleaned up and out into the field.
Wait, did you bathe them? Did you give them baths? How did you clean a cow?
Well, cleaning their stalls and things. So, well, it would
Elaborate.
all go out in the hole of out a hole inside of the barn and then into the manure spreader.
Oh,
And
so
then-
the poop would go right from the barn and then get spread on the fields?
Yes.
It doesn't have to age at all?
No, well, no. That's why it smells so wonderful when you drive past a cow farm.
Fresh, yeah.
Yeah, it smells fresh.
Rabbit poop is like that too. It can go straight from the rabbit cage onto the garden. It doesn't smell like cow poop though.
Mhm.
Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead, dear.
No.
So you cleaned out the cow
Cleaned out the
stalls.
stalls, got them out, and got them breakfast,
What did they like to have for breakfast?
oats
Oh,
or something. Yeah, so we would fill the trough up. And then we spent the rest of the day cutting and baling and stacking hay. And then once in a while, we'd deliver.
cows? Baby cows?
I did help deliver a baby cow, yeah.
Did you really?
But that's not, that's not.
Was that like, is that when you realized that males and females have different parts? When you saw a mama cow have a baby?
I'm actually thinking, no, not yet. After all, it was a cow, it wasn't a person.
I know, but I feel like that should have clued you in a little bit.
Yeah, but I didn't put
You
two
didn't
and
make
two
that
together.
generalization?
No.
Have you guys ever seen All Creatures Great and Small, the British series? Because that actor who plays a vet, he is delivering baby cows all the time. He has his arm up inside real
yeah.
cows all the time. And I just keep thinking, like, He's an actor, and they're making him do that.
Oh, like real life. Oh.
Like they're real cows.
Wow.
That's such a great show, though.
Yeah.
But that part's kind of like, ugh.
I was lucky enough to deliver a Simmental, a huge...
Simmental?
Simmental.
The Simmental cattle are a very old breed of cattle, and their history dates back to the Middle Ages. They are a versatile breed of cattle originating in the valley of the Simi River in the Bernese Oberland of Western Switzerland. They're actually among the oldest breeds of cattle and widely distributed throughout the world.
Huge cows. And the vet was in that position you were talking about prior.
Had his arm all the way up
all
inside?
All the way up, feeling around, and then he hands himself a...
What do cows do if there's a vet? Like, why? Can't they just push it out?
I don't know.
Why do they go in digging for it?
He handed himself a rope with the other, like a wash line kind of rope.
Oh, good Lord.
And then all of a sudden he said, pull, and everyone pulled.
On the wash line?
Yeah, and then it came out.
Well, what was the wash line tied to?
The legs, I think, or the head or something. I don't know. Yeah, I forget how they deliver them. Head first, legs first, tail first. I don't know. It was attached to something. Let's just call it a baby cow. And then we pulled and it came out.
Was it cute?
Yeah, even though it was messy, it wasn't even as messy as you would think because they're so big. It was all white and like this brownish color, butterscotchy red. It was absolutely beautiful.
Did you get to name it? Did they name it Little Dwayne?
Yeah, little twin.
Did you ever see twin cows get delivered?
No, that's the only one that I actually saw.
Cows do have twins sometimes, right?
I would think so. We got one payment of $20.
A day?
Each day, yeah. That was for 10 hours of work. $2 an hour.
Was this like in 1880 or something?
He gave us a $20 bill, and I lost mine once. I forgot I put it in my boot, and I lost it, and I almost started crying. I was like, this whole day, and I lost all my money.
Aww.
And it was in my boot.
Did you find it? I mean, I guess you did because you know it was in your boot.
Yeah. And it was tough work. That's what made me...
Made a man out of you.
Yeah, that's what made me learn the value of $2.
Yeah.
Value of $1. There was still penny candy.
I remember
an awful lot of candy.
I remember penny candy. You were buying penny candy when you were 16?
Well, for $20, you get a lot. I'm just trying to find things that I can remember.
I remember when we used to go buy penny candy, and I remember when some things went up to 2 cents, and I was like, this is a freaking ripoff. You know? Like, it's penny candy, not 2 penny candy.
Yeah, you just doubled it.
I know. They doubled their profit overnight. Can I do like a ducktail thing back here?
Not really.
Because I feel like it's going in that direction.
No.
Of its own accord.
The owner of the farm was Ed Pierce. And if anyone recognizes the name Pierce, his grandfather invented the Pierce Arrow.
Oh, that takes us way back.
One of the most expensive cars ever built in its time. And he said it was just too far advanced and too far ahead of its time. That's why it didn't succeed.
Well, also maybe it was expensive.
Yeah, incredibly
not everybody
expensive.
can afford a luxury Pierce Arrow.
Yeah. He had the farm with the cows, and then he had 2 really big fields. One was in Reddington.
Reddington, Pennsylvania?
Reddington on your way to Flemington? I'm sure a lot of people know Flemington from Flemington Furs. Remember that?
No, they know Flemington from the trial of the century. The pilot whose baby was kidnapped. The trial was in Flemington. Lindbergh. Yeah, the trial was in Flemington.
I never knew that.
Yeah, didn't somebody think your mother was the Lindbergh baby?
Yeah, my mother thought that.
Your mother thought she was the Lindbergh baby.
Yeah, someone saw her and said, is that the Lindbergh baby? Yeah. I'm guessing her father probably told her that because she probably wouldn't have remembered it. So yeah, well, and you know what the coolest part was of...
The manure spreading?
Well, no. The coolest part of that was fixing the chain. When the chain broke, the drive chain would go along the bottom and pick up like the lower inch of the poop, so it would constantly churn, and then would shoot it, fling it out the back with a flinger, like a brush that spun real fast, and it would fling it out the back.
Yeah.
So if that chain broke, you'd have to move all the poop and then fix the chain.
Barehanded?
Yeah.
So that's why you don't care about wearing gloves in the dumpster. If you have your hands up in the cow poop.
Gloves in a farm. Gloves are for blisters, not for poop. The best part of working for Ed Pierce was he delivered hay to some cool places. My favorite was a working dairy farm, and they had some huge Guernseys, the milking cows.
The Guernsey is a breed of dairy cattle from the island of Guernsey in the Channel Islands. It is fawn or red and white in color and is hardy and docile. Its milk is rich in flavor, high in fat and protein, and has a golden yellow tinge due to its high beta-carotene content. The Guernsey is one of 3 Channel Island cattle breeds, the others being the Alderney, now extinct, and the Jersey.
It was run by 3 brothers, and these guys were huge. They were like 7 feet tall, like giant
Sequoias.
They were like 300 pounds and 7 feet tall. They had the straw hats, and they would wear like white t-shirts that were way too small for them, and a little dirty sometimes.
Well, you get dirty on the farm.
Oh my God, everybody was dirty. You should have seen our fingers. Like, they were all green all the time. I'm not going to tell you what that's from. But like every crack in it, every crack, nook and cranny was green. Like around your fingernails and things.
I'm going to just assume that's from hay and grass.
Yeah, dark green. And when we went into McDonald's, everyone cleared out.
Did you smell like cow shit? God. Have you ever been on a pig farm?
I was on a pig farm. I did not work on a pig farm.
They smell.
Huge pigs. They're so big they can't even stand up. Some of them. Like, well, the mothers that are about to baby.
Well, if they're about to baby, then they shouldn't be walking around.
I know, they triple in size. They become like a triple sow cow.
Oh, God. That's what you told me happened to me.
Oh, yeah, you were a triple sow cow.
What?
You only had 2 babies.
Yeah, how did I triple in size?
They'd have like 13 of them sometimes.
Do they? How cute.
Maybe not, but it seems like I remember 13. There was a lot of them running around. I heard a guy on NPR yesterday talking about living by the Goodyear tire factory, and he said we would eat berries and things. We'd go pick berries, and the berries,
They taste
apples,
like rubber.
everything tasted like rubber.
You know what also smells
You could
really
taste
bad?
it.
Paper factory
Oh
towns.
my God, yeah.
Oh, the stink.
Milford.
That is a gross
We
smell.
used to drive through there.
There's one in Maine we used to drive through, and you just like, how fast can we get through this town, and how long can we hold our breath? Did I ever tell you about my encounter with the 800-pound pig?
No.
Okay, so this is when I lived in Georgia.
I've heard everything.
I was living in Georgia, and I was looking for a job.
A date. Oh.
Looking for a date, and I dated a pig. No, I was looking for a job, and this lady was going to the vet school at the University of Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
And she had a ton of animals.
That would be one if it was a big cow.
Well, anyway, she had a lot of pets.
Mm-hmm.
And she did not end up hiring me, but she had like 8 or 9 dogs. So part of the job was to sweep and vacuum the house twice a day because of all these dogs.
Mm-hmm.
And I personally thought that was like overkill. I'm like, twice a day? How about just once a day right before you get home? And then she had these big, like, zoo cages outside. And she lived kind of out in the woods, but she had these big zoo cage things. So they had all these, like, wild exotic birds. Her husband was an airplane pilot, as I recall. And I remember her saying to me that her husband once said to her, "Oh, you act like, you love these animals more than me." And she said, "You got that right." And I remember
that's
thinking,
the first thing you have to remember when
ooh.
you marry somebody with animals.
Right. Well, anyway, so she had dogs, cats, birds, snakes, everything. And she had an 800-pound pet
Gorilla?
pig.
Oh.
No, not a gorilla.
800-pound.
It was so, I mean, to say
Wait, you're
it's so
saying
huge.
a pet pig, meaning it went in the house?
Yes.
No, it didn't.
Yes. And it had this huge dog bed. And she said it would just like lay there and sleep all day, but it needed a bath every day. And that was one of the jobs, to bathe this massive pig. Maybe that's why she didn't hire me, because my reaction might have not inspired confidence in her and my abilities, because it's like, oh my God. But the thing about the pig was to wash it. She's like saying, well, you take a hose and you soap it up and you rinse it all. I'm like, okay, yeah, I can do that. And I'm thinking, oh my God, this thing is so big. I'm like so scared of this pig. It doesn't really like the baths, so you only have 3 minutes. You have to get the whole thing done in 3 minutes or else it gets angry. I was like, I don't want to make the pig angry, but I'm not sure I can bathe that much surface area in 3 minutes. Like,
I could hit 800 eventually, like by the end of the month.
I bet you could. I mean, given enough powder
I'm going in the
donuts,
right direction.
I think you could. What, to get to being an 800 pounder?
Yeah, we'll see 8 before we see 2.
We'll need to get a, like a Barca lounger for you.
I know. I constantly am looking for those in the trash, but they're all broken. Oh, can I go back to my cow story? The working dairy farm.
Oh yeah. So they're the 3 huge brothers who are 7 feet tall.
7 feet tall, at least 300 pounds, big, and not. They didn't look overweight. They were just
I'm sure
big.
they're strong. Yeah,
they looked like they used to wrestle cows. They were strong.
Maybe they did.
I know. I think we used to joke about that. Anyway, that farm was on Doris Duke's property.
Oh, I know exactly where that is.
So we used to have to drive through Doris Duke's property, but the estate. But we also used to be able to get behind the scenes.
Oh.
So you would drive through.
Well, she was still alive then, wasn't she?
Yeah. You would drive through, but we would drive in.
Oh.
So we'd go in, and there'd be like 100 deer in the flocks. Have you ever seen the flocks of deer?
I don't think they call them flocks.
Yeah,
I think it's a herd.
Never mind. Let's go with herd. The herd. You'd see a herd of deer on our property with like 100 deer. It was crazy.
It's a big property. I've been to the greenhouse tour there to see the flowers and stuff.
Yeah, they had a train. A train ran through there too.
Just to get people around the
train
property?
tracks. No, probably not. But I know there were train tracks too, because we had to go over the train tracks. And it was fun. It was beautiful.
Wasn't she killed by her butler? Was it like the butler did it?
I don't know.
Or was it she left all her money to the butler?
I think she left all her money to all 3 of them, like the butler, maid, and servant, or chauffeur or something. And the one stone hedgerow that we would drive past was over a mile long. That was just one of them. And that was probably one of the shortest ones. Can you imagine?
I'm almost done. This is one of my quickest haircuts ever.
It is.
We're picking up speed. Is there any more to the dairy story, or was the point that it was on the Doris Duke property?
Well, that was, I was saying my most fond memory of the cow farm was delivering the hay to that specific farm. Oh, man.
Don't eat the hair.
And one of his farms was right on the Millstone River, so we got to be there, and we'd go out and jump in the river.
Did you go fishing in the creek?
Yeah, at $2 an hour. You think we had time to do that? Some balers just drop the hay bales. His baler shot it out
This is stuck on my thumb.
into the wagon.
Uh-huh.
So as you're trying to stack, you turn your back on that baler. If you're not ready, that next one's coming out. It will knock you over.
I was going to say, it'll hit you, right? It's like Lucy
right
in the
in the
candy
shoulder or
factory,
the
but
back.
it's bales of hay flying at you.
50-pound bales of hay.
Yeah, you can't fall behind in that. That could be dangerous.
Yeah, of course you blow your nose at the end of the day, and it would be like all, because you're working in all that hay and
Dust.
the dust. Oh man, it's crazy. Everything was dusty.
So that's interesting. You have the Doris Duke connection, and I have the Geraldine Rockefeller Dodge connection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did she do?
Well, she had her estate in Madison, a couple blocks from where I grew up, and she was really, really into dogs. And so she had this dog rescue kennel, dog pound thing on her property. And that's where we got our very first pet. And it's still there. I mean, she's dead, and now her estate has become kind of like an office park for big corporations, but the dog stuff is still there.
Do you know that's what those keys are from?
What keys?
When your mother gives us things, you know, the things you're like, oh no, not more stuff, you know, from your past.
Yeah.
She gave us a Ziploc bag full of like 50 keys. And
To Geraldine Rockefeller Dodge's house?
no, it either said, it was either the initials or it said Dodge maybe. And like not Dodge.
It probably said Geralda, because that's what they call
Geralda, yeah, that's what it was. Yeah,
that's what they call the dog pound is Geralda.
Yeah.
Farms, for Geraldine.
And it was a whole bunch of keys. They were each a little different. And I bet it was the locks for the cages or something. Or maybe for...
Why would she have that? Why would we have that?
I don't know. We have it now somewhere.
I don't even have a key to our own house, but we have a key to that.
Remember Clark Kent's hair, how greasy back it was? Or no,
Well,
that was Superman.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what my
Superman.
father's hair looked like all the time.
Brill cream?
Not Brill Cream, Wild Root, but yeah, similar.
Memories like the corners of my mind. There you go. Dude, you're respectable again.
Thank you. Now I can like myself.
For a little while. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed Frugal Home Haircut with Frugal Daddy. Look how pretty he is. Yeah, look at that. Look what a good job I did.
Good job.
You know, also it's better short because when your hair gets long, you can see your bald spot a lot more.